Nothing is collapsing around you. The universe does not deal in ruins. It deals in repositioning. What appears to have been displaced, what seems to have been taken from you, is actually being realigned to make room for something far grander, more aligned, and more stable. Breathe slowly now, like someone welcoming a fresh breeze through the window after a stifling night. Today, you will receive a singular declaration, a phrase that carries a silent power, like an ancient key that only turns when rotated with calm deliberation. Florence Scovel Shinn, the woman whose wisdom inspires this knowledge, always maintained that the word possesses creative force when it issues from a tranquil heart. We are not here to theorize. We are here to activate a living law, a law that responds to the soul's tone, not the clamor of fear. Before proceeding, acknowledge the weary part within you. Yes, that part that has attempted dozens of solutions, chased after opportunities, and spent sleepless nights fearing an unforeseen event or counting pennies as if they were drops in a cracked cup. This part does not need more struggle. It needs to hear that the war is over. You are not here to battle against life, but to learn how to walk alongside it. The invisible field reacts to the internal state, and your word only gains strength when born of rest. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that faith is not a shout, but a stance. Today, you will learn to speak and then to still yourself, allowing the decree to establish itself without self-sabotage. Now, imagine a gentle luminescence above your head, not an aggressive light, but a welcoming radiance, like the sun filtering through green leaves at dawn. This light rotates only once, discreetly, and unlocks a safe that has always been reserved for you. Feel a weight lifting from your shoulders, as if someone has removed an old satchel you were carrying unknowingly. Nothing rushes, nothing is lacking, everything arrives in perfect rhythm. Allow this certainty to settle into your chest. Your word creates pathways. It is not necessary to understand logically. Simply allow the body to recognize what the mind still resists accepting. Promise yourself to remain until the end of this moment, not out of obligation, but because every pause, every breath, every mental image will prepare the internal terrain for the main decree. You will know exactly when it arrives, because the body recognizes when a truth touches its deepest root. In the meantime, let your intention be registered within you, like writing your own name in the sand and watching the tide confirm it. Florence Scovel Shinn stated that when we declare yes to divine wealth, we open the door from the inside. So say mentally, with tranquil sincerity, I say yes to the flow that belongs to me by spiritual inheritance. Breathe again, this time with the sense that the air enters as a supply. What felt like a delay was merely preparation. Nothing conspires against you. Everything aligns in your favor. When you grasp the power of the single time, you will realize that life responds like a river finding its natural course. The seed is already in your hand. Now, let us prepare the soil. Close your eyes if you are able. Prosperity is not born in the wallet. It originates in the invisible realm, and that realm commences with your breath. Inhale through the nose with the same gentleness as one savoring cool, fresh water. Hold for an instant. Exhale through the mouth like one releasing old worries, those that have never resolved anything, but only serve to exhaust your vitality. Again. As you inhale, feel life entering. As you exhale, let go of guilt, haste, the fear of failure. They have never paid your bills. They have only obstructed the path of what was already arriving. Florence Scovel Shinn asserted that the word is the seed, emotion is the soil, and the body is the vessel. When you speak, the universe listens to the tone, not the isolated phrase. Therefore, we will not be here imploring or repeating requests. We will be establishing firm, clear, and tranquil decrees. Place your hand over your heart. Envision an internal garden. The earth, previously arid from doubt, now receives dew. Observe roots taking in water. The heart softens, the mind settles. You do not need to prove anything to be worthy. You merely need to allow. Now, select a specific financial situation. This might be a debt, an expected sum, or an opportunity you wish to unfold. Visualize this scene before you as a weightless image. Effortlessly, state internally, it is being resolved. As you inhale, feel provision. As you exhale, feel relief. It is being resolved. Nothing is against you. Everything is organizing itself for your benefit. Now, take a final deep breath to conclude this initial preparation. Feel your body more relaxed, your chest more open, your mind clearer. Florence Scovel Shinn stated that when the inner changes, the outer follows. And here, something has already begun to shift. Now, sense how your internal environment has become quieter. There is a new space between one thought and the next, as though a door has been left ajar and fresher air has begun to circulate. It is in this space that abundance finds its path. Florence Scovel Shinn always reminded us that the universe does not respond to desperation, but to a state of availability. When you cease clutching reality with expectation and instead offer a tranquil place for creation to manifest, what seemed distant begins to draw near with natural ease. This is not childish magic. It is resonance. Life does not push. It flows. I want you to grasp something crucial. Scarcity is not born of a lack of funds. It stems from distrust. A person may possess meager resources and yet feel peace, because they rely on the ever-flowing provision. Conversely, someone with substantial balances in their account might live plagued by the possibility of losing everything. This is why Florence Scovel Shinn asserted that true prosperity is an internal disposition before it is an external outcome. Today, we are rebuilding that disposition within you. What originates externally will merely reflect what has already been established deep within your core. Now, observe three voices that frequently undermine the harvest. The notion that one must suffer to be worthy, the conviction that receiving equates to someone else's loss, and the propensity to anticipate collapse whenever things improve. These voices are not inherently yours. They were inherited, absorbed, and reiterated for years without scrutiny. They are like threadbare garments that no longer fit, yet which we insist on wearing out of habit. Breathe and view these beliefs as worn-out articles you place upon a table. Gently say to each of them, "You no longer serve me. You may rest. I do not need to suffer to flourish. My well-being amplifies the well-being of all. When things improve, they stabilize and blossom." Feel the buoyancy that emerges upon releasing these ideas. It is akin to loosening a constricting belt that restricted your breath. Inhale slowly and visualize that belt dropping to the floor. Exhale and recognize the space opening up in your abdomen, chest, and entire body. It is in this space that provision manifests. Florence Scovel Shinn maintained that that which has room to grow, grows. Therefore, dismantling internal tensions is an essential part of cultivating spiritual and tangible wealth. Now, visualize yourself walking down a luminous corridor. To your left, doors bearing archaic labels: guilt, urgency, fear, comparison, self-deprecation. Watch these doors being gently closed, effortlessly. They no longer serve the path you have chosen. Ahead, an unlabeled, clean door. You touch the handle and it acknowledges your essence. It is not coercion. It is sanction. True prosperity does not demand force. It responds to internal acquiescence. Now, bring your hand to your throat. This is often where scarcity resides, like a constriction that hinders full expression. With tenderness, tell your body, "You may release this. My voice is a conduit of unadulterated abundance." Feel this region relax, as if a knot were slowly unraveling. Your words begin to flow with greater clarity. Florence Scovel Shinn declared that the mouth is the gateway of decree, and that a word spoken with confidence is like a key that unlocks spiritual treasuries. Repeat mentally, with calmness between each phrase. "I forgive myself for having lived in constant vigilance. I withdraw my energy from lack. I realign with the rhythm of the source." Feel how each phrase settles into your body, like seeds finding fertile ground. There is no need for haste. We are not pursuing immediate results. We are cultivating profound roots. Now, realize a simple revelation. Money is not a savior. It is a messenger. It carries the message of your consciousness out into the world. If your consciousness whispers, "I don't know if I can," the messenger hesitates. If your consciousness declares, "I receive by divine right and I am grateful," the messenger quickens its pace. This realization changes everything. Florence Scovel Shinn often reiterated that the universe responds to conviction, not to need. Let us now perform a 5-breath exercise, each with a clear intention. On the first, inhale confidence, exhale self-sabotage. On the second, inhale worthiness, exhale guilt. On the third, inhale serenity, exhale haste. On the fourth, inhale clarity, exhale confusion. On the fifth, inhale gratitude, exhale control. Feel your chest expanding, your mind quieting, your body settling. Now, an internal cleansing decree, spoken only once within yourself. I release all fear of receiving and sustaining. My life is fertile and secure ground. Remain in silence for a few seconds, observing the subtle shift that occurs when you declare something with absolute presence. If you are feeling this transformation, I want to ask something important of you. Not out of mere protocol, but because this gesture forges a genuine connection between you, this message, and the community that is expanding around this path of conscious prosperity. Subscribe to the channel now, leave your like, and write in the comments. I choose to live in tranquil abundance. This is not merely an external action. It is an internal movement of concordance. It is like planting a flag declaring, I participate, I belong, I embrace this change. Furthermore, share in the comments a small situation in your life that you wish to see organized, but do so with confidence, not desperation. Choose a simple action, such as organize my receivables, open a new opportunity, or balance my expenditures, and write, I make space for this to happen. When you share with sincerity and serenity, you inspire others and strengthen your own resolve. This gesture strengthens the community and generates a powerful collective field. Florence Scovel Shinn stated that when several people align in faith, manifestation accelerates. Therefore, allow yourself to participate in this movement without shame, without fear of judgment. Here you are among people who also wish to achieve growth with ease. Breathe once more and feel this invisible union, this silent network that sustains and encourages. Abundance is not a race. It is an alignment. And today, that alignment is taking place. Something profound is happening within you right now. You might not recognize it immediately, but an internal restructuring is underway, much like furniture being rearranged within a home to allow a larger, more comfortable space to materialize. The old mind seeks to gauge results swiftly, but the spirit knows that solid structures are built in silence. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that true change does not begin when something arrives, but rather when something ceases to occupy the wrong space. And in this very instant, old tensions, burdensome expectations, and silent fears begin to lose their grip. It is like a dam developing fissures through which the water finally finds passage. Breathe into this awareness. Life is not denying you anything. It is preparing the ground. Yet, we often interpret preparation as delay, which generates frustration. When you demand immediate manifestation, your energy contracts. When you allow time to work, your field expands. Florence Scovel Shinn asserted that divine timing never fails. It merely organizes the pieces perfectly. As you breathe and maintain trust, situations, people, and opportunities move silently, finding their way to you. Now, I want you to feel your entire body settling, like someone who finally locates a comfortable chair after standing for a prolonged period. This sense of repose is essential. Stable prosperity is born from a heart that rests, not a heart that vigilantly watches. Constant vigilance signals distrust to the universe. Rest signals certainty. And certainty is the most powerful magnet there is. Focus your attention on the center of your chest. Imagine an inner door opening slowly, revealing an expansive, illuminated, and silent space. This space represents your capacity to receive. Many people desire prosperity yet keep this door ajar, fearful that they will be unable to sustain what arrives. Florence Scovel Shinn reminded us that the universe never delivers anything you cannot manage when you are aligned with your essence. Receiving with tranquility is an act of courage and spiritual maturity. Now, visualize 3 future scenarios, but execute this differently than usual. Do not observe as a distant spectator. Instead, imagine you are within these situations, embodying them. First scene. You resolve something that was previously burdensome. This might be a financial obligation, a stalled negotiation, or an outstanding settlement. Feel the physical relief, like a weight dropping from your chest. Second scene. An unexpected resource arrives, and you organize this resource with clarity and pleasure. There is no chaotic euphoria, only serene gratitude. Third scene. You offer assistance to someone, perhaps a loved one or a person who crosses your path, and this generosity stems from joy, not obligation. Feel the warmth in your chest, the sensation of flow. These images, when viscerally felt, create real energetic pathways. Florence Scovel Shinn explained that imagination is the matrix of reality. If you imagine with fear, the matrix becomes distorted. If you imagine with peace, the matrix solidifies. This is why we are building inner imagery accompanied by sensation, and not merely thought. Now, let us delve into something profound: the fear of receiving. Often this fear does not manifest as fear itself. It appears as procrastination, as financial disarray, or as subtle self-sabotage. This is when an individual receives something and immediately loses it, squanders it unintentionally, or becomes involved in draining situations. This occurs because, internally, there is a belief that sustaining prosperity is perilous. Perhaps you learn that those who grow become targets, or that those who prosper distance themselves from others. Perhaps you observed someone lose everything and associated success with emotional hazards. But this is not a universal truth. It is merely an isolated experience that your mind has codified into a rule. Breathe deeply and allow this belief to be viewed with compassion. It sought to protect you. It believed that maintaining little was safer than expanding. Now you can thank it and gently state, I can prosper safely. There is no threat in expanding. I receive and sustain with equilibrium. Florence Scovel Shinn asserted that what is yours by divine right endures when you are at peace. Place both hands over your abdomen. Imagine you are releasing a tight girdle of worry, allowing your body to find spaciousness. As you inhale, feel the space. As you exhale, release old tensions that were restricting your expansion. In that space, prosperity finds its dwelling. Now, an essential insight. There are decrees that need to be spoken only once. Repetition driven by fear weakens. Repetition driven by trust strengthens silence. When someone declares something and immediately starts to verify, re-examine, or repeat it anxiously, they are telling the universe, I do not believe what I just affirmed. When someone declares and then rests, they communicate faith. Florence Scovel Shinn often said that the one who plants does not dig up the earth constantly to see if the seed has sprouted. They trust the invisible labor. Therefore, prepare for a significant moment. We are going to practice the internal gesture that sustains the power of a singular decree. Slowly inhale and state within yourself, I trust. Exhale and allow. I release control. Inhale and affirm. It is done in the invisible realm. Exhale and become silent. I await peacefully. Feel the difference. Your energy becomes more stable, more profound, and more receptive. Now, note a precious detail. You do not need to repeat the core statement that will be delivered. What you will repeat is the posture. When the mind attempts to clutch, you will breathe. When fear attempts to measure, you will offer gratitude. When doubt arises, you will recall the bodily sensation of grounding. This posture keeps the decree potent. To solidify this internal architecture, declare mentally, just once, with complete and utter presence, I operate in alignment with the inherent prosperity that belongs to me. My life is organizing itself in perfect harmony. Allow this statement to settle deep within your being, like a stone resting on the riverbed, resolute, silent, and utterly stable. Remain in silence for a few moments. There is no urgency. Abundance does not flee. It simply manifests. There is a highly nuanced aspect to this process that few people comprehend. Prosperity does not merely manifest when you declare it, but primarily when you begin operating from the premise that you have already received it. There is a vast distinction between waiting and dwelling. The one who waits remains entrenched in the vibration of scarcity, perpetually fixated on what has yet to materialize. The one who dwells internally assumes a place within the existing flow, and this very posture fundamentally alters the trajectory of life. Florence Scovel Shinn asserted that true faith demands no guarantees. It proceeds as one who already possesses what they have declared. This manner of positioning oneself establishes an energetic conduit, a thoroughfare upon which opportunities can traverse with seamless ease. Now, visualize yourself traversing an expansive avenue, bordered by towering trees. The light permeates the canopy, casting intricate patterns upon the earth below. You feel a gentle breeze, a pervasive sense of being guided, of inhabiting the exact coordinates where you ought to be. This image is not merely metaphorical. It embodies your redefined demeanor toward life. When you move with inherent peace, neither chasing frantically nor retreating defensively, you transmit an unequivocal message to the universe. I have unwavering confidence in the process. This confidence permeates your body language, your vocal cadence, and your decision-making. It calibrates you to opportunities that previously went unnoticed. Now, let us pivot our focus to the pragmatic realm. Many people assume that prosperity is the culmination of monumental undertakings, colossal actions, or radical life shifts. Yet, Florence Scovel Shinn taught that life responds to the most subtle gestures. Sometimes, it is merely an email composed with composure, the straightforward organization of documents, a transparent conversation, or an unprompted act of generosity that unblocks an entire stream of abundance. When you execute a minor action imbued with focused intention, it becomes emblematic of profound internal order. And symbols carry immense power in the invisible field. They function as spiritual conduits. Contemplate 3 silent practices you can integrate into your routine. One might be expressing profound gratitude for something seemingly negligible, such as an unanticipated discount or a conversation that unlocked a new potential. Another could be the act of tidying a specific area, even if it is only a single drawer, because this signals to the invisible domain that your life is actively organizing itself to accommodate greater influx. The third could be a small gesture of generosity, executed not from a place of self-depletion, but to affirm your inherent trust in the source, rather than reliance on mere accumulation. These intentional postures are akin to seeds cast upon fertile ground. They flourish organically. Now, grasp something profound. When you begin to align yourself with this energy of tranquil abundance, situations that previously seemed intractable start to yield. The phone rings, a message arrives, someone remembers you. An outstanding obligation resolves itself effortlessly. This happens not because you forced it, but because you shifted your internal resonance. Florence Scovel Shinn used to assert that the word, when originating from the center, organizes the surrounding reality. The universe cannot resist coherence. When your vibration, your attitude, and your word are in total accord, life responds. Breathe and allow this realization to take hold. There is no requirement for urgency. Haste is the offspring of fear. Tranquility is the offspring of confidence. Prosperity does not rush. It establishes itself. Just as a tree does not grow through clamor but through silence, you too are expanding from the inside out. Your roots are deepening. And the deeper they sink, the more substantial your eventual harvest will be. Now, envision a clear, organized desk with an open notebook. On the first page, there is a phrase written in resolute lettering: constant and secure flow. Next to it, a pen. You place your hand over the notebook and feel a gentle warmth. This image represents the commitment you are forging with yourself. It is not an external contract. It is an intrinsic agreement. Florence Scovel Shinn stated that when you agree with the good agrees with you. This alignment is silent, yet profoundly powerful. Close your eyes for an instant and visualize 3 future occurrences as already accomplished. First, you settling a heavy debt and exhaling with genuine relief. Second, an unexpected sum arriving, and you managing that resource with responsibility and crystalline clarity. Third, you assisting someone joyfully and feeling that this gesture amplifies the greater good. Experience these scenes as reality. Do not observe them externally. Inhabit them fully. The body must recognize the pathway the mind desires. Now, place your right hand over your heart and your left hand over the right. Feel the warmth between your hands and your chest. Say mentally, just once, I authorize the sustenance of flow in my life. My prosperity is stable, pristine, and protected. Allow the phrase to dissolve within you, like sugar dissolving in tepid water. Do not attempt to repeat it. Do not try to reinforce it. Simply permit it to settle in. Remain in silence for a few seconds. Silence is where the decree takes root. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that creation does not occur in the din, but in the interval between one thought and the next. It is in that interstice that the invisible work is done. Now, feel your body becoming lighter, as if a burden has been lifted. Perhaps you notice a relaxation in your shoulders, a softening of your face, a deeper inhalation. This is an indication that your internal field is shifting frequency. You are transitioning out of the posture of demand and into the posture of trust. Before proceeding, take note of one crucial detail. This journey is not solitary. A community of people is listening, sensing, and co-creating this new paradigm of prosperity alongside you. When you engage sincerely, you amplify not only your own manifestation but also that of everyone who shares this space. Florence Scovel Shinn used to say that when two or more people agree in faith, something in the field changes immediately. Linger for another moment, sensing this unseen connection. There is immense power in this. We have now arrived at a point of profound integration, where everything that has been cultivated within you begins to assume a stable form. Hitherto, you have prepared the ground, cleared limiting beliefs, made space, sanctioned the flow, and initiated the internal momentum of tranquil prosperity. But there is one crucial step that distinguishes those who merely wish from those who truly manifest: walking as if you have already received. Florence Scovel Shinn often repeated that the word creates, but the attitude sustains. This is not about pretending or forcing an artificial posture, but about allowing your body, your choices, and your routine to express the new consciousness you are establishing. Take a deep breath and acknowledge something important. You are not starting from scratch. There is a solid foundation within you now. Your energy has shifted. The way you sense the future has shifted. The way you view your possibilities has shifted. That weight that once seemed glued to your chest no longer wields the same power. It may try to return, but there is now a new terrain where it cannot take hold. Florence Scovel Shinn used to say that when the light comes in, the shadow loses its dwelling place. And in this very instant, you have become more illuminated within. Now I want to guide you through a simple yet potent practice that seals this new cycle. Imagine you are in your own home, but it appears more spacious, clearer, and more ordered. You look around and realize that what was once clutter now has room. You open a window and a warm breeze drifts in, carrying the scent of newness. This image represents the internal order that is settling in. When the internal environment shifts, the external follows suit. Visualize a table featuring a carefully arranged vase of flowers. Beside it, a notebook with your name inscribed. You open it and find a luminous phrase: I am a secure home for abundance. Feel this phrase as truth. It is not merely written on paper. It is being inscribed upon your body, your decisions, your posture. Florence Scovel Shinn said that prosperity needs a dwelling place, and that dwelling place is a calm consciousness. Now, to solidify this state, bring forth 3 images of the near future. First, envision yourself receiving positive news related to money or work. Observe your body responding with composure and gratitude, devoid of urgency or fear. Second, visualize yourself organizing an incoming asset, setting everything in order with meticulous care and clarity, much like tidying a special drawer. Third, see yourself spontaneously assisting someone, moved by unadulterated joy, without any thought of reciprocal gain. Feel this joy as a flow that moves effortlessly. Dwell within these images for a few seconds. They are not mere fantasy. They are templates. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that disciplined imagination is the workshop of creation. When you feel something as real, Your body prepares to receive it, and the universe responds to that readiness. Now, inhale deeply and place your right hand over your heart, the left hand resting upon it. Say internally, just once, in a serene voice within your mind, I retain what I receive. The good that arrives remains and flourishes in peace. Allow this phrase to sink slowly, like a stone descending into a placid lake. Do not repeat it. Simply permit the silence to do the work. This silence is fertile. It is within it that the decree takes root. Florence Scovel Shinn asserted that creation occurs in the pause, not in the striving. Therefore, continue breathing softly, feeling your body settled, your mind gentle, and your chest open. You are entering a new frequency. Now, I want to invite you to something special. If this message resonated with you, if it made sense, if you perceive something shifting within you, please share your experience in the comments. Recount a small change, a new sensation, a perception that has awakened. When you share your lived experience authentically, you strengthen your own momentum and inspire others. Here, we are building a community of conscious prosperity, founded on peace, not competition. Florence Scovel Shinn taught that when one prospers with love, all prosper alongside them. And leveraging this moment of connection, if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, I extend a heartfelt invitation. Subscribe now. Not out of obligation, but as a symbolic gesture of commitment to this new phase of your life. Leave your like and write in the comments with your name. I receive with wisdom. This simple act creates a vibrational anchor, as if you were signing an agreement with yourself. It is not about the algorithm. It is about intention. Now, imagine a golden frame being placed around everything you have built within yourself here. A frame protects, preserves, and honors. It does not alter the work, but it guarantees its endurance. Abundance requires this internal framework, the conscious decision to keep the flow alive. Florence Scovel Shinn stated that the good meant for you cannot escape. And when you commit to order, gratitude, and generosity, you create secure banks for that river to continue its flow. To cement this integration, softly affirm internally, I act as one who has already received. My life aligns with the good. My endeavors flourish in peace. Remain in silence for a few seconds. Feel your body assenting. Sense the stability. Now, as we conclude this session, I wish to make a distinct request of you. If this message has bolstered you, please share it with a loved one. Someone who may be weary, burdened, or feeling isolated in their financial and emotional journey. This gesture is not merely promotion. It is conscious generosity. It is you becoming a conduit for good. And before we draw to a close, I warmly ask you, do you wish to journey alongside this community? If so, subscribe, give us your like, and in the comments, share your story. What shifted within you today, what you sensed, what insights you gained. Your experience matters. It might be precisely what someone else needs to hear to rekindle hope. May your week be effortless, abundant, and serene. May you feel, day after day, that life is working in your favor. Breathe. It is unfolding. Florence Scovel Shinn would smile upon seeing what you are building. Prosperity with peace. Go forth in peace.